If you are receiving CPP, OAS, or GIS, or if you are about to start receiving any of these benefits, the next few minutes could be worth hundreds of dollars to you. So, please stay with me because I am going to break all of this down in plain, simple language. No confusing government jargon, just the facts you need explained clearly so you can take action. We help Canadian seniors make sense of their money and their benefits. Today we are talking about 3 big changes to CPP, OAS, and GIS in March 2026. What they are, what they mean for your monthly payments, and what you need to do, if anything, to make sure you are getting every dollar you deserve. Let us start with the Canada Pension Plan, or CPP. This is the monthly payment you receive based on how much you worked and contributed during your working years. Here is the first big change you need to know. Every single January, CPP payments are adjusted for inflation. That adjustment that happened in January 2026 is now fully showing up in your March 2026 payment. The increase for 2026 is officially set at 2.0%. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. 2% does not sound like a lot, especially compared to the 6.5% we saw in 2023. But here is what I want you to understand. This increase is still real money, and it is automatic. You do not have to call anyone. You do not have to fill out any forms. It just shows up in your payment. Let me put some real numbers on this so you can see what it means for your pocket. If you were receiving the maximum CPP retirement benefit, you were getting approximately $1,364.60 per month at the end of 2025. In your March 2026 payment, the maximum CPP retirement benefit is now approximately $1,230 per month for new recipients. Now, most people do not receive the absolute maximum CPP, but every bit helps maintain your standard of living. The average monthly CPP payment is closer to $800 to $900 a month for most Canadian retirees. Even at that level, a 2% increase puts roughly $16 to $18 more in your pocket every single month. That is over $200 more per year just from this one adjustment. And here is something else important I want to share with you about CPP in 2026. The CPP enhancement is now fully in motion. Since 2019, the government has been gradually building up what they call the CPP enhancement. The whole idea behind this is to make CPP eventually replace 1/3 of your average working income instead of just 1/4 like it used to. That is a significant long-term upgrade to the pension system. In 2026, the maximum earnings limit that CPP contributions are calculated on, this is called the year's maximum pensionable earnings, or YMP, has risen to $74,600. That is up from $71,300 in 2025. There is also now a second earnings level called the YAMP, which sits at $85,000 in 2026. Now, why does this matter to you as a retiree or near retiree? If you are already receiving CPP, this tells you that the system is getting stronger. Younger Canadians who are still working are contributing more today, which builds a bigger fund, which protects the pensions of everyone, including you. If you are still working and have not yet applied for CPP, it means that those extra contributions you or your employer have been making since 2019 are quietly building up a higher benefit for you down the road. And if you have not yet decided when to take your CPP, whether it's 60, 65, or even 70, this is an important conversation to have because delaying CPP by even a few years can significantly increase your monthly amount for the rest of your life. Every year you delay after age 65, your CPP increases by 8.4%. If you delay all the way to age 70, your CPP can be up to 42% higher than if you took it at 65. That is not a small difference. For someone receiving $900 a month at 65, that would be $1,280 a month at 70 for life. So the key takeaway for the CPP change, your payment went up 2% in January, and that is now reflected in your March 2026 amount. It happens automatically. No action needed. But if you have not yet started CPP, please speak with a financial advisor or call Service Canada to understand your personal best timing. Now, let us talk about Old Age Security, OAS. This is the monthly payment most Canadians age 65 and older receive, regardless of whether they ever worked. You qualify based on how long you have lived in Canada, not based on your work history. Here is the second big change you need to know about. OAS is adjusted 4 times a year, every January, April, July, and October, based on the cost of living. This is actually different from CPP, which only adjusts once a year in January. And this quarterly adjustment is a big deal, because it means your OAS keeps trying to keep up with prices throughout the year, not just once. For the January to March 2026 quarter, OAS benefits increased by 0.3%. Your March 2026 payment will reflect this same rate. Since OAS does not change MIDC quarter, your January, February, and March payments should all be the same amount. The next possible change will come in April 2026, when the second quarter rates are reviewed. Now let me give you the actual dollar amount so you know exactly what to expect. For seniors age 65 to 74, the maximum monthly OAS payment for January to March 2026 is $74,231 per month. For seniors age 75 and over, the maximum monthly OAS payment is $86.54 per month. Why is the amount higher for those 75 and over? Because back in July 2022, the government permanently increased OAS by 10% for anyone aged 75 and older. This was done because older seniors tend to face higher costs, more medical bills, more care costs, more support needed. If you turned 75 after July 2022, that 10% boost was automatically added to your payment. It does not expire. It stays with you for the rest of your life. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for weekly updates on your Canadian senior benefits. So, if you are 75 or older, and you are not seeing around $816 per month in your OAS, assuming you have full eligibility based on 40 years of residence in Canada, something may be wrong with your account, and you should contact Service Canada to check. Now, here is something that many seniors do not realize about OAS. Your OAS payment could be reduced if your income is too high. This is called the OAS clawback, or officially the Old Age Security Pension Recovery Tax. Here is how it works. If your net income for the year goes above a certain threshold, the government takes back 15 cents of your OAS for every dollar above that threshold. For 2026, that clawback threshold is approximately $93,454 based on your 2025 income. If you have a large RRSP or RIF withdrawal coming up, rental income, or significant investment income, you might want to talk to a tax advisor about how to manage your income so you do not accidentally trigger the OAS clawback, because if your income goes high enough, you could actually lose your entire OAS for that year. But here's the good news. If your income is modest, you have nothing to worry about. The vast majority of Canadian seniors do not come anywhere near that income threshold. Most seniors I speak to are not in danger of the clawback at all, but it is good to be aware of. Also, and this is very important, you must file your taxes every year to continue receiving OAS. Even if you have no income other than your government benefits, you need to file. The government uses your tax return to calculate your payment amounts and to determine if you qualify for GIS, which I am going to talk about right now. Before I get into GIS, which is the benefit that could make the biggest difference for lower Inome seniors, I want to pause for just a second. If this information is helpful to you, and if you know another Canadian senior who depends on CPP, OAS, or GIS, please share this video with them. These changes directly affect their money, and they deserve to know about it. GIS stands for the Guaranteed Income Supplement. This is an extra monthly payment added on top of your OAS for seniors who have low income, and it is one of the most generous benefits in the entire Canadian retirement system. Yet, a surprising number of seniors who qualify for it are either not receiving it or not receiving the full amount they deserve. Here is the third big change you need to know. GIS income thresholds have been updated for 2026 to help more seniors qualify as the cost of living rises, and the benefit amounts themselves have also been adjusted upward by 2.0% over the past year. The same general cost of living adjustment applied to OAS. Let me give you the numbers. For a single senior, widowed senior, or divorced senior receiving OAS, the maximum monthly GIS payment for January to March 2026 is $1,874 per month. Let that sink in for a moment. That is over $1,000 on top of your OAS. So if you are a single senior receiving full OAS at $74231 and you also qualify for the maximum GIS, Your total monthly payment from these two programs combined would be $18.15 per month. And the incredible part is GIS is completely non-T-taxable. You do not pay a single cent of income tax on your GIS payments. Now, who qualifies for GIS in 2026? Here are the income thresholds you need to know. If you are single, widowed, or divorced, you qualify for GIS. If your annual income, not including your OAS pension, is below $22,188 per year. If you are a couple and both of you receive OAS, you qualify if your combined income, again, not including OAS, is below $29.12 per year. If you are a couple and only one of you receives OAS, your combined income must be below $53.94 per year. Now I want to make sure this is crystal clear, because it confuses a lot of people. The income limits listed above do not include your OAS pension. They are based on other income things like CPP payments, private pension, income, RRSP or RIF withdrawals, rental income, and investment income. Your OAS itself is not counted against you when determining GIS eligibility. For more help, call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914. Calling MyDM morning midweek usually means shorter wait times. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for weekly updates on your Canadian senior benefits. Here is another important detail that many working seniors do not know. If you are still working part-time while receiving GIS, which many seniors do to supplement their income, there is an earnings exemption that protects you. The first $5,000 you earn from employment or self-employment is completely exempt. It does not count against your GIS at all. For the next $10,000, you earn above that. So, earnings between $5,000 and $15,000, only half of that amount is counted as income for GIS purposes. What this means is that you can earn up to $15,000 a year from work, and only $5,000 of it will actually affect your GIS calculation. This is a very generous rule, and it allows seniors who want to keep working to do so without completely losing their GIS benefits. Now, here is something I want to speak to you directly about because I know this is a sensitive area for many people. Some seniors feel embarrassed or reluctant to apply for GIS. They see it as charity or as welfare. I understand that feeling. Many Canadians grew up in a generation where independence and self-sufficiency were deeply important values. But I want you to hear this clearly. GIS is not charity. It is a benefit you have earned as a Canadian. You paid taxes your whole life. You contributed to this country. This program exists because the government recognizes that not every senior had the opportunity to save enough and that everyone deserves to live with dignity in their retirement years. Applying for GIS is simply claiming what belongs to you. Now, how do you make sure you are receiving GIS if you are eligible? The good news is that in most cases, once you are receiving OAS and you have filed your taxes, Service Canada will automatically assess your GIS eligibility based on your most recent tax return. You do not need to submit a separate application every year as long as you keep filing your taxes on time. But, and this is critically important, you must file your taxes by April 30th, 2026. If you miss that deadline, your GIS payments could be interrupted or delayed. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon for weekly updates on your benefits. Your retirement security matters. Service Canada needs your most recent tax return to confirm your income level and continue your payments without interruption. If you stopped filing taxes because you thought you did not have to, maybe because your income was too low, please start again. File your 2025 taxes by April 30th, 2026. This single action could ensure that thousands of dollars in GIS payments keep flowing into your account throughout the year. And if you have never applied for GIS before, or if you are not sure whether you qualify, the easiest way to check is through your My Service Canada account online, or by calling Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914. They are there to help you, and this call could genuinely change your financial situation. Now that we have covered all three major changes, let me quickly tell you when to expect your money in March 2026. The official payment date for March 2026 CPP OAS and GIS is March 27th, 2026. That is a Thursday. If you are set up for direct deposit, which I strongly recommend, if you are not, already the money will go directly into your bank account on that date. If you are still receiving checks by mail, please be aware that mail delivery times can vary. So, your check may arrive a few days after the 27th, depending on where you live. I want to be very clear. The March 27 payment is the first payment where the new 2026 CPP annual increase is fully in effect. So, if you look at your account on March 27th and compare it to last year, you should see a slightly higher amount reflecting both the 2.0% CPP adjustment and the OAS quarterly increase. If the amount looks the same as last year or lower, do not panic, but do investigate. Log into your My Service Canada account or call Service Canada to confirm your payment amount and make sure everything on your file is up to date. I want to take a moment to talk about some common situations that can affect your payment amounts, because forewarned is forearmed. Number 1, not filing your taxes on time. I said this earlier, but it is worth repeating. Your GIS and even your OAS eligibility determination depends on your tax return file by April 30th, 2026. Number 2, changes in your living situation. If you move in with a partner, separate from a partner, or your spouse or partner passes away, this can significantly affect your GIS eligibility and benefit amounts. Report any changes in your marital status or living situation to Service Canada as soon as possible. Number 3, changes to your income. If you started receiving a new private pension, started withdrawing from an RRSP or RRIF, sold property, or received any significant income, this could affect your GIS eligibility for the following year. The GIS for the current year is based on last year's income, so changes this year will affect next year's GIS amount. Number 4, not being enrolled for OAS. While Service Canada automatically enrolls many seniors for OAS when they turn 65, not everyone gets auto-enrolled. If you have not received your OAS enrollment letter 1 month after your 64th birthday, you may need to apply manually. Do not assume it is coming. Check your My Service Canada account. Number 5, living outside Canada. If you have lived or are living abroad, your OAS and GIS eligibility rules are different. You may still qualify for OAS if you have at least 10 years of residence in Canada after age 18, but you need at least 20 years of Canadian residence after age 18 to receive OAS outside of Canada. GIS is generally not available to those living outside Canada. Let me bring all of this together for you in plain, clear terms. Change number 1, CPP. Your Canada Pension Plan payment increased by 2.0%, 0% as of January 2026. This is now fully reflected in your March 2026 payment. You do not need to do anything. The increase is automatic. For the average senior, this means roughly $16 to $18 more per month or over $200 more per year. Change number 2, OAS. Your old age security payment increased by 0.3% for the January to March 2026 quarter. Your March payment will be the same as January and February. Stay informed and proactive. Subscribe and click the bell icon for weekly updates on your Canadian senior benefits. The maximum monthly OAS is now $74231 for ages 65 to 74 and $81654 for ages 75 and over. If you are 75 or older, make sure you are receiving the 10% top-up that was permanently added in July 2022. The OAS clawback threshold for 2026 is approximately $93454. And remember, always file your taxes to keep your OAS and GIS flowing smoothly. Change number 3, GIS. The Guaranteed Income Supplement has been updated for 2026 with higher income thresholds to help more low-income seniors qualify. The maximum GIS for a single senior is now $1,874 per month, completely tax-free. When combined with full OAS, a qualifying single senior could receive up to $1,915 per month from these two programs alone. If you earn from work, your first $5,000 is fully protected. You must file your 2025 taxes by April 30th, 2026 to keep your GIS uninterrupted. And all CPP, OAS, and GIS payments for March 2026 will be deposited or mailed on March 27, 2026. Step 1. Check your My Service Canada account. Log in online or call 1-800-2277-9914. Confirm your current benefit amounts. Make sure your direct deposit information is correct. Make sure your address and contact information is up to date. This one step alone can prevent a lot of headaches down the road. Step 2. If you have not filed your 2025 taxes yet, put that on your to-do list right now. The deadline is April 30th, 2026. Filing on time is the single most important thing you can do to protect your GIS payments and ensure your OAS is calculated correctly. If you need help filing, many communities offer free tax clinics for seniors through the CRA's Community Volunteer Income Tax Program, also known as CVITP. You can find a clinic near you at canada.ca. Step 3. If you are caring for an elderly parent or a senior family member, have a conversation with them about these changes. Make sure they know what they are entitled to. Make sure they are filing their taxes. Make sure they are registered for direct deposit, so their money is arriving safely and on time. Subscribe and click the bell icon for weekly updates on Canadian senior benefits. Step 4. If your income has changed significantly in the past year, either higher or lower, consider reaching out to a financial advisor or accountant who specializes in senior benefits. Even a modest investment in good advice can help you make decisions that protect your GIS. Avoid the OAS clawback and structure your income in a way that maximizes what you keep in your pocket. Step 5. If you suspect you qualify for GIS but are not currently receiving it, apply. You can apply through Service Canada online, by phone, or in person at a Service Canada center near you. Do not leave this money on the table. Some seniors miss years of GIS payments simply because they did not know they qualified or felt uncomfortable applying. Please do not let that happen to you. I want to close with something I feel very strongly about. You worked hard your whole life. You paid into these programs, CPP, OAS, GIS, through your taxes, your contributions, and your years of living and building a life in this country. These benefits are not favors from the government. They are yours. You earned them. The changes happening in March 2026 are modest in some ways. A 2% CPP increase, a 0.3% OAS quarterly adjustment, updated GIS thresholds, but they are real. They add up, and every dollar matters when you are living on a fixed income. The most important thing is to stay informed, stay engaged, and take action when you need to. Check your account, file your taxes, apply for what you are entitled to, and if you ever feel confused or unsure, reach out to Service Canada, to a trusted financial advisor, or to a community organization that helps seniors navigate these systems. You deserve clarity, you deserve support, and you deserve every dollar that is coming to you. If this video helped you today, I have a simple request. First, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps more Canadian seniors find this information, and honestly, that is why we make these videos, to reach as many people as we can. Second, if you are not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe right now and hit that bell icon. Every week we cover updates to CPP, OAS, GIS, and all the financial topics that matter most to Canadian seniors. We are your retirement news desk, and we are here for you. Third, if you have a question about your own CPP, OAS, or GIS, or if there is a topic you would like us to cover, leave it in the comments below. I personally read every comment, and your questions often become our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Take care of the seniors in your life.